spillage was not the first of its kind. There were other spillage. And we said that quite openly in a press release, that we do not trust the company. We are concerned now for the well-being of Amerindians. We need to know what the people are saying out there. We need to show them that we are there supporting them. And I think this is this is the direction that we're going to go from now on.
A lot of our own men, or Amerindian men who work, they are the cheap labor force of these big entities. And we are not so sure how they are being protected. And we fear for their lives as well.
During the spillage, I would say it was a kind of hard situation to work because everything around the area was very contaminated with the cyanide. The breach of the dam has causes the overflow on the roads. The machines that you work on were all contaminated and filled with the mud and the satellites and the necessary environment.
One or two workmates who complain about the same feelings. Some had the vomiting and diarrhea and these things. But as I say, when you complain, the people in charge get angry, you know, so that we are making it up. It's in our mind. That's the word they actually use, that it's in our mind.
What will happen to the people who've been working at Omai during the spillage? Are those people, have they been checked for, have they been medically examined is one of the questions that we are asking, and we are concerned for their health as well.
On and all, I never had a medical test for any kind of drugs or kind of misuse of any chemical in the area up to this date.
I would put it this way, that they really don't have respect for Guyanese workers.
I don't feel those people treat us as, kind of human beings.
Our men going out to work with the logging concessions or the gold mining industries have had an impact on our own communities too in another way, because the men go out and seasonally they are not there to cut farms for their families. Therefore, the women have to fend for themselves and their children in their absence, and that has caused some disruption in the communities. A lot of these guys go for these jobs with the timber and mining companies, and they get lots of money, work for lots of money. But their own families within the village systems have not been able to receive the money. The village itself doesn't benefit from it, because we do have tax systems. You pay village tax and all of that. And some communities like $20 for the tax. And if you really want to seriously finance any developmental projects in your own communities, that is not adequate. So I am saying that although a lot of money is circulating among many of our men, it doesn't come back into the community, nor to their children, nor to their wives. As a matter of fact, in some instances, they get paid, they come to Georgetown or they go to bars and drink it out, and they go into St. Cuthbert's, maybe half drunk. Their wives have to find money for them to get back to their jobs.
The effects of environmental damage in the Guyana Shield also has its consequences for Europe and North America. Organizations there are seeking solutions and establishing support for sustainable development.
The Guyana Shield is a unique region in the world. It's one of the last pristine rainforest areas which is left on this earth. It's very important for the stabilization of the world's climate, because it's part of the larger Amazon system, which has, as many scientists now agree upon, a very important function for the temperature of the world's climate. It's one of the last untouched reserves of biological diversity, which, as we all know now, it can be extremely important for human health because of new medicines which may be found from rainforest areas. There are still functioning original cultures, human cultures there, which have the knowledge of this biological diversity. From a European point of view, we will profit, of course, from a stable world climate. We will profit from these products, from the biological diversity, and also because we, in our history, have destroyed so much of our own natural heritage. That I think we should now do everything we can to help this part of the world to develop in such a way that these extremely important values will be protected and preserved.
We realize that we cannot have that development the way we want it, sustainable development, protecting our environment, protecting biodiversity, protecting the unless we have assistance to do it, or we stop paying our debts. If we stop paying our debts, then a whole ton of bricks will drop on our heads. The international community will stop financing Guyana's development.
We think that the kind of development which is now taking place, as exemplified also by the incident of the Omai Mine, is not sustainable and will destroy in a too short period the resources which the countries need to develop sustainably in order to have also sustainable income. What we think is very important, that these countries have some time to think about and to discuss with all parties concerned what sustainable development in their context means. But since they also need foreign exchange at this very moment, you have to find a system where there is both income for the necessary imports, but at the same time there is some time to really discuss and agree upon sustainable development. We think that in a way of international cooperation, also the European community and the European citizens should contribute through, for example, a trust fund to give some income to countries like Guyana and Suriname, to give them time to really look at what sustainable development would mean in their countries.
Guyana at the moment lacks the indigenous capacity even to assess the extent of the damage that has been done. We are talking about an environmental audit, and we are inviting international organizations, we're inviting foreign governments to come to Guyana's aid and come to our aid at once.
How soon are you hoping to go back on stream?
The first step is to secure the tailing pond, and after that it will depend on how long it takes to build the second tailing pond. So with the finding that we'll have with the first pond, we'll be able to design the dam of the second pond, and after that we'll be able to go back in production. What we think actually that it's going to take 3 months.
But not because we find ourselves in the conditions of economic deprivation and underdevelopment that we find ourselves in, that countries must be treated with the kind of contempt and the kind of arrogance that we are being treated by companies like Omai. That the Guyanese people are not in a mood to tolerate it. They are not in a mood to tolerate gold extraction that will result in cyanide leaching into our water table and cyanide disposal into our rivers. That if this is the price of development, if poison is the price of development, then we reject it.